What's up, guys? In Judges chapter 5, we read this song that Deborah wrote. She's one of the judges of Israel that she wrote after a victory that they had. It's a really interesting song that she begins by talking about how wonderful it is, in essence, how when the people of God are surrendered over to God. And then she begins in this stage of just rejoicing and recounting the wonderful things that God has done in Israel's history, including a title that she proclaims, a title of God as the God of Mount Sinai, the one who makes the mountains tremble, obviously referring to when the Israelites received the law of God, received the law and the statutes of God. And it's this place in Israel where the people of God experience an attitude of obedience, a place of submission to the authority of God, a place of simple trust in His promises. It's at this place that the nation of Israel sees the victory of God. It's at this point in their life and their nation's history that they see the victory and the wonderful miracles of God delivering them to the sight of their enemies. And she enters into this next part of the song where she actually describes this different time period, a different time of Israel's history, a time that describes a place where they've taken down their worship and their adornment of God. They're not no longer submitting to God nor trusting His promises, but it's this place where they've developed their own gods, their own way of thinking, their own way of trusting in their own plans. And it describes to this place that they become like a traveler who travels down winding roads getting lost. And he describes that the village life of Israel itself is destroyed. It says that it's at this point that the wars begin to come and knock at Israel's door, and their enemies are there seeking to take over them, and Israel's left defenseless without a weapon. See, in Luke chapter 7, Jesus makes this strange statement saying that he who seeks to save his life will lose it, but he who gives his life up for my sake will find it. It's this place that we come to before God where we just lay down our own way. We lay down our own places of trust, our own places of vision, the things that we would long to and place our hope in exchange for simply trusting in God. And in Matthew, Jesus describes this parable, this image of trusting in God, and he uses the birds of the air and he uses the flowers of the field. He says the birds of the air, they don't worry about where they're going to get their seed from. And the flowers of the field don't worry about where they're going to get clothed from. And he compares it to Solomon, who's a very rich king in Israel's history. He says, but even Solomon, in all of his glory, was not clothed as one of these flowers. But yet we come to God and we worry about where we're going to get our food. We worry about where we're going to get our clothing from. But Jesus was calling and said, don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about those things. But instead, know that your Father knows that you need them and provide them. But instead, He tells them to seek first the kingdom of God, and all the rest will be added to them. It's this place of rest that God calls us into, that we can simply trust Him. We can trust Him to provide for our physical daily needs in the same way that we can trust God for our salvation. It's not by our own efforts that we earn our way into heaven. We try to be a better person. But instead, it's this place we come to realizing our brokenness before Him, that we've lied and we've stolen. We've broken God's commandments. We submit to His authority in that. And we simply trust in what was done for us on the cross. It's His faith that says, I believe that what you did, Jesus, on that cross, you died for my sin. You paid the price that I should have paid. And we accept that as our own. And because of that, it's by faith that we receive that salvation. It's by faith that we receive that covenant with God. In the same way we can receive the promises of God, His promises to provide for us, His promises to care for our daily needs, to care for our future, the direction that we're going, day in and day out. We can trust God with those things. We don't have to worry about tomorrow, but instead we can trust God and we can seek first the kingdom of God, and the rest will be added to us.